What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here for yet another episode, and today I'm going to do the best rod and reel under $150. Now people ask this question a lot because, you know, they're on a budget. Fishing can be very expensive with all the different rods and reels and line and baits that you have to buy just to get out on the water, and then you have to catch fish. So people even beginners, you know, or especially beginners, they don't want to spend a whole lot of money because they don't know if they'll really like fishing. But me, fortunately, I was able to get into it very fast and grew a passion for it very fast. So I've built up, I think there's 4 rods or so, and this is probably my second favorite one. My first favorite rod is probably the Flair's frogging rod, but that one is $100, and I wanted to keep this around $150, and I'm pretty sure this combo right here is $140. So you spend, I think it's $80 for the reel, $60 for the rod, and then you've got $10 extra to go get any of your line or whatever. And for line, you can just buy like 150 yards for like $10 of braid, pretty sure. So I'm going to start off with the rod first and then move on to the reel, and then we'll close out this video. Okay guys, so I just wanted to verify. I quickly looked it up on tacklewarehouse.com. Also, these links are down in the description below. So if you want to go purchase them, they're down below. But the rod itself is the 1.3x13 Fishing Defy Black casting rod. It's a 7.3 medium heavy, and it goes for $59.99. So again, the rod is $60 roughly, and then the reel is a 1.3x13 Fishing Origin A casting reel, and that goes for $79.99. So that the reel goes for $80, and then those two add up to $140, and then you have $10 left for your line. Okay guys, so starting off with the rod, again, this is the 13 Fishing 1.3 Defy Black right here. It's a 7.3, or no, it's a 7'3" medium heavy. Let's see, fast action tip, 12 to 20 pound line. Let's see, 3/8 of an ounce to 1 ounce lure weight. And I actually have 2 of these rods. This is the one that I use for it's like an all-purpose rod. 7'3", you can cast a long ways with this rod, and because it's got that extra tip to where you can cast it farther, you know. And then I also have the same rod, except this one is in 7.1 medium heavy for my jig rod. So I get a lot of use out of these rods, and I have not had one problem out of these. I got them, I think, let's see, I'm pretty sure it was July, and I did a $200 Tackle Warehouse unboxing. Go check that video out if you haven't already. It has like 1.2 thousand views, so I'm sure you've already seen it. But that's where I did an unboxing over these, and then I did another video on testing these out, and I actually caught 2 pretty decently sized bass on these using Wacky Rig Senko. But these rods get a ton of use. Ever since I've gotten these rods, they have gotten the most use out of any other rod. Not just because I have 2 of them, but because they just work. You know, it's easy to set the hook. It feels nice. You know, it's only $60, but the reel, the reel grip right here, it keeps it real tight, so you don't have to worry about tightening it back up or anything. The lure keeper right here, let's see if it'll, right there, is really nice because it has a little hole right here where you can do like a crankbait or something, but then you can also slide up, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but you can also slide up the back side of a Texas rig, so then you don't have to pull out your plastic, and you can put that on there. But it's just it's an easy rod to use. You know, 13 Fishing, whenever they came out with their side company, 1-3, that's who this is all made by. They kept it simple with doing their stuff. Even the reels, they're simple to use. They're easy to work with the gears, but they made a much better lure keeper right here. The rods, they are very sensitive. This one, you really need to be sensitive because it's a jig one. This one, you don't have to be too much because you're using it for chatterbaits, and all you have to do is, if your bait just feels heavy, or if you feel a couple little ticks on your chatterbait, set the hook. You know, you can use it for spinnerbaits too, same deal. You can use it for crankbaits if this is like one of your only rods, or your longest rod and you're throwing like a medium diver or deep diver. But I love this rod. You know, it feels great in the hand. It's very sensitive. It's very true to the power. This is definitely a medium heavy. Some companies, they say a medium heavy when or some companies will have a medium when it's actually a medium heavy, you know. And 1-3, they did a great job staying true to the action and power. So that is kind of what I think about this rod and this jig rod. I know I'm not going over this rod, but they are the same, so I just kind of refer to them both. But again, I love this rod, highly recommend it. Yeah, so we will get on to the reel now. Okay guys, so now starting off with the reel, first I'm going to go into the specs of it. So this is a, let's see, 8:1-to-1 gear ratio. The reason why I picked this reel, like gear ratio wise, was you can always slow down. You know, you can never speed up as faster than 7:1-to-1. You can never speed up faster than the reel can go, but you can always slow down. So that was kind of like my philosophy over the gear ratio. I've got a lot of higher gear ratios, like my jig one is a 7:1-to-1. I know all you do is pick up line with it, but again, you can always slow down. And then, let's see, that's really all the reels that I've got. And then, well, I've got a 6:4-to-1 and then a 5:4-to-1, but I don't use a 5:4-to-1. Also, that 5:4-to-1 is for sale if y'all want to comment down below or hit me up on Instagram. It's I think I'm selling it for $40. It's only been used twice. Yeah, if you want to DM me on Instagram, I can send you some pictures of it and some stuff like that. But getting back to the reel itself, it's a 8:1-to-1 gear ratio. Again, it has, let me see, I've got the box right here. Let's see, it's got a 13-pound max drag, so pretty high drag. This is a highest drag reel that I have. My next one is a Lose, and it has 10. It has a lightweight composite frame construction. One thing that I do want to talk about is the line guide. Some people might not think of the line guide as being an important thing, but this one is actually very cool. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it's kind of, some companies are like sideways, and this one is actually like, it's an oval, but it's like vertical. I actually really like that because if your line is kind of higher, I mean, a sideways one I don't think will really do too much, just my opinion, but a vertical one will help you out, because if your line is higher, if your line is sitting higher on the spool than some of the other lines, it's kind of hard to tell you all through a camera, but it'll go through the line. I don't know. I like it more actually than kind of a sideways one, and it is a little bit different than just a normal circle one going across. It's 7.2 ounces, which kind of by itself it feels like 7.2 ounces, but when you pair it up with that Defy rod, it's like it doesn't feel that much actually, which is good because the rod actually evens it out, and it makes it feel good. It's got these nice 1-3 handles right there. They're nice. They're very easy to grip onto. If you're just letting your bait fall down and you feel tick, you know that's a fish. It's very easy to grab onto and set the hook, and it makes it look pretty cool with the white right there. Also, the 13 Fishing Origin. Oh yeah, this is the Origin, not the Concept. Sorry if I said Concept. I think it's a C. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's the other Origin that 1-3 makes, and it's actually an all-white frame with black handles, and that reel actually goes for $100 because it has more drag, like 18 pounds of drag and whatever. I just went with the cheaper one. Let's see. Integrated hook keeper. Oh, this is also really cool. Right there, I don't know if y'all are able to see it, right there, right above my finger. There's a little plastic piece. Some people like to put their baits on the hook keeper, so all you have to do is like pull it off and let it fly, and you can cast. I don't personally. I put it all on the hook keeper that's on the rod, because that's where it's supposed to go. But they made that because, you know, a lot of people would put it on the reel and they didn't want it to like mess up like the glossy finish that this reel has. But it's just like a little plastic piece, and it keeps it. It's a made spot to where you put your hooks, and that's pretty cool. That's something different that a lot of companies don't think of. It has 7 stainless steel ball bearings, and it has a 6-way centrifugal braking system. So what that means is, this is Origin on the side, and then you've got this little lever thing right there. You press that down, and then your little side plate is able to come off. It's just a normal side plate, and then you've got that right there, and that just has a little dot right there. I don't know if y'all can see that too well, and you just move up and down, and however much, like, the more wind you do, the higher you do it, closer, like as in what's the highest on here, 6. The higher you go up to 6, and the less wind there is, you go down to 0. Pretty sure that's how it goes. I don't do too much stuff with my brakes. Actually, I always keep it on 3, and I'm always able to have a decent amount of casting distance. So I don't really mess with that too much, but it is nice to have it just on the fly. Another thing about spools and 13 Fishing, they make all their spools the same. Some companies they make them like they won't fit inside each other. If you try to switch them out, they won't fit inside each other. But all these spools are the same. So what 13 Fishing has is they have a like a customized shop where you can go online and you can order more spools. So say I've got 50-pound braid on this one, and say you have another one with 17-pound fluorocarbon for jig fishing, and you use the same reel for like frog fishing and jig fishing. So you can go from a lake where you're frog fishing with lots of grass. You can take that spool out, put in your 17-pound fluorocarbon spool, put that in there, and you're good to go for jig fishing at a clear lake like Table Rock Lake or Beaver Lake, whatever. But that is really cool. I was actually thinking about doing that just so I can have one reel and like several different sizes or several different spools with different pound line and everything, but I just haven't gotten the chance to do that. So all these rods are down in the description, as well as the ones that I talked about today. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and yeah. But anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to comment those video suggestions down below so I can make some videos for you guys as Christmas break is starting to end. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode of LMB Nation. Peace, guys.